All right. Well, then, I don't know about you, Kelly. I don't know about you. But I'm ready to begin.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you could join us today. My name is Kelly Wright.
And I'm James Ernest, and we're here all week, this time coming to you from the twin foci of excellence in podcasting, Las Vegas and Seattle.
Exactly. We, through the miracle of technology, we are able to be in two different places at once and come together to bring you this fabulous form of entertainment.
You know, we're always in two places at once. Those places are just normally across town and not halfway across the country.
It's true. So this is kind of amazing. So this signal is kind of like going up to space and coming back really quickly. So I love that. Speaking of space, Richard Branson went to space this morning.
Oh, I saw that headline. I didn't click on it. I was too busy doing other things, but look at that. Well, one of us got away.
One of us, no, he had to come back.
I know. I read an article last week that was like, I hope none of you think that these rich people are actually getting away from the Earth with their little space project, because keeping 6 people on the ISS takes like a ground crew of 800.
It's true. And like in the movie Contact, where the super billionaire who funded the SETI project, where he was just living in the space station up, in the sky. Well, because he was dying of cancer. And so I think, what was it? Cancer, the growth was slowed down because it was no gravity. I don't know. Anyway, I think Richard Branson and I think both Jeff Bezos are trying to do that. I think they're trying to go live in space. Elon Musk.
I think they're having a Ferrari measuring contest, and everyone thinks they're wasting their money on all this, but that money doesn't just go away. That everything they buy, that money goes back into the economy. The way they could waste their money would be to park it in the Caymans. So let's not complain about how expensive it is. At least that money's being spent, right?
No, I'm not complaining about how expensive it is. It's their money. Okay. However, you don't become a billionaire by being a nice guy. Let's just point that out. Either way.
And here's my proof. I'm a nice guy, and I'm not a billionaire.
Exactly. So yes, the money is being spent, and the money is also what they're doing privately is also forwarding information and helping NASA develop their stuff as well.
Yeah, they're doing
some
private science, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're not keeping their information close to their chest. They're actually sharing with NASA on what they're experiencing. So this also helps the space program too. So, okay. So Richard went to space. Bezos is going to space later this month, and Elon Musk has yet to go to space. So we'll just have to wait and see. James, once it becomes publicly available, are you going to drop $200K just to go to the envelope?
If $200K becomes publicly available, I will accept it and spend it on other things. Okay. No, why would I want to go to low Earth orbit? What? I could just go to sleep and float around in my dreams. I have no reason to go to space. Space has no appeal to me. None.
Okay, got it. There are some people who will be like, I totally want to do that. It was like when I was a kid, I thought it was magical that my grandparents flew on the Concorde, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I wanted to do that, but the Concorde is no longer available. So
the Concorde is pretty cool. Yeah, its nose bends down. It can take off and land. It's so cool.
Yeah, it is so cool, but they don't do that anymore. They don't break the sound barrier anymore with flights, public flights. So.
There's always the possibility of like rocket travel to go to Japan in 2 hours. That's sort of tempting. Like I think I wouldn't go into space to be in space any more than I take the bus to be on the bus. But if it gets me somewhere I want to be, maybe that's interesting again. I don't know. If it got me to the moon, that'd be interesting, right? But just barfing up into space just doesn't seem like it's worth it.
Let's just try something a little bit closer to ground and see if we can at least get bullet trains in the United States. Can we get those instead?
We have Joe Biden. We have him for another year and a half. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Maybe he'll get us some bullet trains.
Maybe he will.
I was gonna cut all those Chinese tariffs, but I mean, have you seen these trains? These trains are amazing.
They're
okay,
amazing.
Joe, you do what you want. He's probably got a little model. He's ripped out everything in the Situation Room, and he's just built a giant model train set down there.
Choo-choo.
This is the one that runs to San Francisco.
Look at how fast this goes. I'm a model. Imagine what it would do in real life. Look at that.
It's just a Hot Wheels track.
It's a Hot Wheels, the orange track, and it keeps flying off.
Well, Kelly, thanks to your trivia quiz last week about a movie I'd never seen, I watched Heat with the family this week, and hey, it's quite good. I'm not surprised that, as you said, criminals copied it.
Yes, it is. It is quite a good film. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I would like to rewatch it again. So I'm glad you watched it. I watched Horrible with Names. However, I watched Black Widow. Black Widow was
Oh,
like
right.
one of the highest grossing films now. It made something like 60 million streaming and like 80 million in theaters. Like it made a huge ton of money. So I watched Black Widow, which was great, and it was kind of refreshing to see just really badass women, just all badass women just fighting. It was really good. Serious acrobatics. Serious
I eagerly
gymnastics in it.
anticipate the viewing of that film. I have been quite busy this week, as you know. I and my wife drove to Las Vegas in a rented SUV through record-breaking temperatures. Came here to find out that my car battery was dead, so we're living on foot for a couple of days until I can get AAA over here. And yeah, I've been wrestling with all of the exigencies of travel and heat.
I saw pictures on your Twitter of temperatures where Utah was something like 114 and then Nevada was like 117, 120. It was ridiculously hot. Really
No,
hot.
I think Nevada was 118, 117 or 118 on Saturday, and that was a record, and it's trying again today. There is kind of a light cloud cover. There is some haze down here, and it's still that hot, and I don't know what's going on, but everyone who lives here is terrified. They're like, it's the apocalypse. We should move somewhere else.
Well,
And
I mean,
I just got here, guys.
there's like there's definitely water shortages, and they're telling people to like hold back on watering. No more lawns. Stop doing lawns.
Well, they always tell people not to water their lawns. That's insane. Why would you have that?
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
it's worse yet now, and water is scarce. I'll tell you, I got a friend whose air conditioner is on the fritz, and he's not happy about it.
Oh, I bet. I mean, it would become an oven in your home at that point with that temperature.
So this apartment stayed at 86 when the AC was turned off. So that's nice. I mean, it's not great.
That's good. I mean, that's good insulation, though, of considering that the temperature outside is 20 degrees hotter.
Well, it's not insulated because it's losing all of its heat to the neighboring units. That's the point, is that my neighbors are cooling my joint when I'm not here. The windows are
Oh.
great, but like the only reason that it's not outside temperature inside is that I'm living off of my neighbors.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got it. So it's okay. It's the heat exchange through the walls when their AC is on. Got it.
Yeah.
The other thing I also read on what was it, the Las Vegas Twitter feed, was that flights out of McCarran, when it starts getting 117 and above, they don't fly. They stop
That's right.
flights because
Yeah,
there's not enough
the
lift.
planes cannot fly on the hot days.
I never knew that. I had no idea. The hotter it gets, the harder it is for a plane to lift, and especially the heavier the payload. So they just stop flights, which then is, of course, that domino effect where if there's no flights leaving, there's no gates open, and everything just dominoes around the country. So I never knew that.
And then all the rental car agencies who already sold off all their fleets raised their prices even more. And it's the beginning of the apocalypse is what I'm trying to tell you. Pretty soon, there's going to be nothing down here except abandoned casinos and electronic bee farms.
Well, well then, I guess Mad Max and his friends will be moving down there and taking care of the gasoline, and all that.
Thousands of gallons, as much as you want.
You can walk away, just walk away. So, did you drive all the way through, or did you stop? Where did you stop?
Well, we got here, didn't we? Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
no,
I'm not
we
talking
of
about-
course, we stopped halfway. We drove 10 hours on day one and then 8 more hours on day two. We went down through Salt Lake City and saw that never-ending stream of city in the central Salt Lake area. I don't know. It was a rental car. It was a brand new SUV, and it stayed cool the whole time. And
That's amazing.
when you got out, you were literally stepping into an oven. It was like terrifyingly hot.
Oh yeah. I totally remember when it was, that hot here, and you open the door and you're like, holy moly, I don't know how we're gonna get through this. But I'm glad you made it safely. Any exciting plans for shows, or are you just kind of hunkering down into your
Well,
place?
last night, you remember Sean Carnes,
I do.
prior and future guest on our podcast here. We went down to Oscar's Steakhouse, which is a short walk from here, a short, very hot walk, on Fremont Street, and had a lovely steak dinner. So good. And so I thought that was my entertainment for the week. Basically, I think now I'm hunkering down and running the AC and playing video games.
Okay. So Sean is doing well.
He's doing fine. He is the aforementioned friend with semi-busted AC. He says he has an upstairs and a downstairs unit, and one of them is not working, so the other one is. I don't know. There were details. Details were spoken and forgotten.
Well, I know he and his partner, she who shall not be named, and their 2 dogs. I hope that they are doing okay because it's freaking hot. So.
Yes, they are. They're surviving. I don't know how well they're doing, but they are surviving.
Got it. So you had a lovely dinner. That's great. Tell me, how is your wife and your driving partner Carol taking care of her time while she's there? Is she working remotely? Is she reading books? What is she doing?
Work. Remote.
Okay.
The only remote work that Carol needs to do is to check in with our daughter and make sure that she is taking care of the guinea pigs in our absence.
Okay.
No,
great.
she has some very important gems to match up on her iPad, I believe, and they continue to drop from the heights, no matter how many she matches. So I think she's got her work cut out for her over there.
Excellent. So this is a nice little break for the 2 of you. I am glad that you are getting this break and just kind of relaxing and enjoying the sunshine. Speaking of checking in on kids, there is a special on Netflix. Comedian Bo Burnham. He's 30 years old. He had been quite successful as far as in the comedy tours. He's like a musical comedy act. And he suffered 5 years of crippling anxiety. He started getting panic attacks on stage. And he was like, this is not a good place to get him. So he kind of took 5 years off and sorted his shit out. And in January of 2020, he decided to start touring again, and everything then shut down. So while he was...
bad timing.
Totally bad timing. So while he was in his home, he basically wrote, directed, edited, wrote all the music, everything for this special on Netflix called Inside. And it's quite brilliant. And I know I texted you and said, oh my gosh, have you seen this? And you said, no, I don't have Netflix. So for those who have Netflix or those who can borrow their friend's Netflix pass, I recommend you do watch it. It's quite an amazing look into how the 20 and 30 plus generation kind of got through this. He writes songs from all sorts of different perspectives. And the one thing I really realized, he was born in 1990. So let's wrap our heads around that for a minute. So he's definitely a millennial. And millennials, I think, is the generation that have never lived without cell phones. I think there's always been cable, there's always been cell phones, there's always been internet. How nervous they are, how anxiety filled they are, how they're trying to figure out what the hell is my life, where is my life going? What am I going to do now? And I kind of realized that after watching this special. I'm like, wow, they've known nothing except online.
You know nothing, millennials. Well, I don't know. Everyone's capable of wondering where their life has gone, but I feel like a special that someone produced entirely by himself in his house during the pandemic would serve only to remind me of how little I got done during that same time. I would just feel terrible. This guy did that thing. Damn it. YouTube keeps sending me more and more Jacob Collier, who I don't know if you know who that is, but
I do know Jacob Collier.
Amazing young musician, most talented human being in the entire world. And, he does all of it in his room. And I could do that if I had talent, but no, I have a room, I have time.
Right.
It's the same pandemic for everyone. And aside from this podcast, what have I accomplished? Nothing, Kelly. Nothing.
I have
a trivia contest for you here.
Okay, let me just tell you what I've accomplished over this pandemic is that I realize I have undiagnosed ADHD. So I am headed off the end of this month to go get an official diagnosis on it so I can get something that helps me focus, because I realize I have no focus left anymore. I'm done. This pandemic kind of just shifted me and pushed me in a way where I was like, I can't focus on anything. So this podcast...
I find that I have focus, but not energy. So I don't know how distinct those two problems are, but it's not that I'm easily distracted from a project. It's more like I'm very comfortable in this sofa, and I'm going to stay here now.
Yeah, I am easily distracted. I find that as far as with my housework, with my professional work life, with projects that I have in front of me, if there's anything shiny, any noise, anything, boop, I'm right off track, and then I have to basically stop and think, okay, where was I? So I'm tired of having. How I describe it to my husband is, this is the sound in my head. Oh God! 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 So I don't want that sound anymore. I'm done with that.
Yeah, here's the sound in my head. Hey. I have undiagnosed something. I don't know what it is, but I'm too lazy to figure it out, so maybe that is the diagnosis.
Inertia.
I have undiagnosed inertia. That's great.
Yep, you do.
It's like momentum, but it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. All right, hit me with your trivia.
Well, let's see. It's actually, I think we've hit the ad mark. Shall we hear first from our sponsor?
Oh, yes. Let's take a break. Let's hear from our sponsor.
This episode of Here All Week is brought to you by Sticker Shock. Don't even think about it.
James, are you tired of spending too much money?
You bet I am. As a faithful subject of capitalism, I'm acutely aware that saving money is the most important thing in the world.
That's right. Spending wisely is your sworn duty, and if you do it wrong, you're wasting the world's most important thing, money.
But honestly, sometimes I just can't stop myself. Once in a while, I will buy something more expensive just because it's convenient or higher quality or made by humans who earn a living wage.
Me too. I used to waste money just like you, but not anymore, thanks to Sticker Shock.
Sticker Shock? What's that?
It's a powerful new service from Brazilian Prime, providing users with a powerful electric shock every time they spend too much money.
Wow, how does it work?
Sticker Shock uses your existing nervous system along with a time-tested behavioral science.
So every time I spend too much, I'll get a shock? That's brilliant.
That's right. Sticker Shock is a highly effective means for behavior improvement, as shown by countless experiments on humans, animals, and even plants.
How will Sticker Shock know if I'm about to spend too much money?
It won't, but you will.
So Sticker Shock can read my mind?
Almost. Sticker Shock uses psychological data to detect when you've just made a bad purchasing decision. We monitor physical markers such as heart rate, skin conductivity, capillary dilation of the so-called blush response, and so on.
Cool. So how powerful are the shocks?
I don't know, James. How bad was your decision? Let's suppose you bought a smaller jar of peanut butter, even though the larger one was cheaper by the ounce.
Ow! Ooh, I won't be doing that again.
Exactly. Over time, your body will learn to anticipate these little shocks, and your brain will remind you when you're about to make the same mistake again.
So if I feel a shock coming on, I should think twice about my next purchase.
Exactly. Imagine you're about to buy a used lawnmower without any haggling.
Ow!
Now, imagine paying the rack rate for your next beach vacation.
Ow, 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 ow!
Okay. Now relax. And imagine buying only the cheapest things at low prices that guarantee that only the humans at the top of the ladder will keep any of the profit.
Oh, it feels so good just not being shocked.
Exactly. Sticker Shock is your best weapon against wastefulness. It will mold you into a perfect cog in the world machine, a perfect consumer that neither worries nor complains.
Cool. Can it help with relationships?
Absolutely. No matter what, Sticker Shock has you covered. You'll never make a bad decision again.
Sign me up.
Sticker Shock. Don't even think about it.
They also do steaks.
You know, I've seen the invisible fence work on dogs, and I've seen it also not work on dogs. Dogs are determined to get out of the yard. They gonna get out the yard.
But they never checked the same place twice. They were testing it systematically.
Systematic, clever girl.
Yeah, that's me. That's me at the dime store. Ooh, look, bubbles. Psst. Oh, clever girl.
That's me. Ooh, $180 pair of earrings. Okay, all right, I'm done. I don't need any more. I have 20 of them at home.
If I had more holes in my ears, I could wear more right now.
Oh, you have given me a brilliant idea. I only have 5 in each ear right now. I need more.
All right, I have a trivia contest for you here now, Kelly.
Okay.
Are you prepared? This
As
is the
prepared as I can
classic
be.
rot. This is inspired by your Heat trivias from last year. last week.
It
James Ernest
feels
has
like a year.
It does feel like a year. It's been a long week. Classic
long
rock hot song trivia for 7-11-21. James Ernest has driven literally out of the frying pan and into the fire, leaving behind Seattle's all-time high temperature of 108 and carpooling to Las Vegas, which is currently besting their own all-time high of 118 and may be part of the hottest region ever recorded in the world. To commemorate this leap from hottest to even hottester, Here All Week brings you this collection of classic hot rock song trivia, songs that brought the heat in the 70s and 80s.
Ooh.
It's just especially for us pre-lennials here. Question 1. This 1978 chart topper by British-American rock band Foreigner features a protagonist who probably ought to see a doctor with his fever of 103.
He is hot-blooded. What is hot-blooded, James?
Check it and see exactly. According to lead singer and co-author Lou Gramm, this song is a bit tongue-in-cheek, but really, it is a problem meeting ladies on the road. You see someone in the audience you want to meet, but after the show, by the time you're through doing interviews and getting cleaned up, there's nobody around. And to quote our new catchphrase, some people just have it harder than others, Lou.
Some people just have it harder than others, James. It's true.
All right, question 2. David Lee Roth brought his pencil and doesn't feel tardy in this 1984 schoolboy fantasy from the Van Halen album 1984.
Hey, give me something to write on, man. That would be hot for teacher.
That's right. The song starts with Alex Van Halen's mathematically impossible 30-second drum solo.
Oh, man.
And its music video featured the band dressed as both adults and students. Not creepy at all. The 80s music, not creepy at all.
Not
Question
creepy
3.
at all.
Also from 1984, this little ditty from the Eagles' Glenn Frey was featured in the Eddie Murphy action comedy Beverly Hills Cop. Ironically, it describes a situation more commonplace in the winter.
You know, it's on the streets, James. The heat is on.
I know it is. It's right there. The song was penned by Harold Faltermeyer, who also recorded the catchy instrumental Axel F. Question 4. Also in 1984, a different Eagle, Don Henley, recorded this nostalgic song about the passing of youth. It was the lead single from Henley's 1984 album Building the Perfect Beast and won Henley a Grammy Award for Best Male Rock Vocal Performance.
Nobody on the road, nobody on the beach. Boys of Summer.
You feel it in your hair. Something's out of reach.
Something's out of reach.
Boys of Summer is right. The video for Boys of Summer won Video of the Year at the 1985 MTV Video Music Awards, and I even have an answer prepared for if you guessed wrong.
Oh.
No, Summer of '69 was by Bryan Adams. It was recorded in 1984, but released in 1985. In the summer of 1969, Bryan Adams was 9 years old.
Oh, that's when he got his first real six string.
I think it must be. He also got his first real something else, if you listen to what he talks about.
At 9 years old.
I don't know, man. Question number 5. Delectable musical performer Meatloaf recorded his debut album in 1977, with memorable ditties including For Crying Out Loud, Paradise by the Dashboard Light, and 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad.
This would be Bad Out of Hell?
This would be Bad Out of Hell. It was
Yes.
developed from a musical called Neverland, a futuristic rock version of Peter Pan by music author, whatever you call that, composer Jim Steinman.
Jim
who wrote it
Steinman.
in 1974. Question 6.
Oh, Jim Steinman.
This is a tough one.
Okay.
Because I wrote it, then I realized that what I wrote was completely wrong. So here's the actual truth of it. This is how I enjoy writing these trivia. The questions is I'll write a name and a date and whatever, and then go look it up and see how close I was.
Okay.
The chorus from Duran Duran's A View to a Kill from the 1985 James Bond film of the same name became the title of an unofficial Duran Duran remastered live album, which featured 2 shows recorded in California in 1987. What is the phrase?
Oh, you're stumping me on this one.
I thought this was the title of the song because it's in the song so much. But The View to a Kill, the chorus of A View to a Kill is Dance into the Fire.
Oh,
I thought they were 2 different songs.
Okay, all right.
But yep, that's the lyrics from A View to a Kill, which starred Christopher Walken as baddie Max Schrek. Question 7. Mm-hmm. American disco band The Tramps released this hot track in 1976 on their studio album of the same name. It was featured on the soundtrack from Saturday Night Fever and encourages the listener to burn that mother down.
I don't know. Fire.
Something about fire.
Yeah, something about fire.
Well,
I'm stumped.
I'll read you the end hint. The song was supposedly inspired by a scene in the 1974 blockbuster film The Towering Inferno.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking
It's a disco band about a towering inferno. You have 3 seconds.
Disco Inferno.
Disco Inferno is the answer.
Thank
That's
you.
correct.
Okay.
All right. And
I was
now
thinking,
question 8.
hang on. With that question, I was thinking of Parliament, George Clinton in Parliament, the Parliament Funkadelic, where, never mind. It was
This is a situation where knowing too much can hurt you.
music in my head. Okay, go ahead.
Question 8. Walken returns. In a famous SNL sketch from April of 2000, Christopher Walken, as producer Bruce Dickinson, claims that he has a fever and the only prescription is more cowbell. Who is the band in the sketch and what song are they recording?
That would be Blue Oyster Cult and Don't Fear the Reaper. Why don't you
That is
explore the
correct.
room? I need you to explore the room.
Explore the room. In reality, the song was was produced by David Lucas. The actual Bruce Dickinson was a mid-level manager at Columbia Records. In the sketch, Walken also claims, "Easy guys, I put my pants on just like the rest of you, one leg at a time. Except once my pants are on, I make gold records."
That or, guys, you do this, you'll be in golden diapers. What does that even mean?
I make gold records. So good.
Let's see. Jaimito, my friend. What you got coming up this week? Anything just besides the couch? I know you're fixing your car.
As you can tell, I'm busy decorating my apartment. Those of you watching at home can see a black shroud right behind my head covering all the mess that I made when I unpacked my car. But I'll be
see that.
decorating it with this beautiful thing.
Is that the Millennium Falcon?
That is the Maltese Falcon.
Again, too much information.
Too
in
much
my
information
head.
in your head. My friend Lauren made this, 3D printed this 5/8 scale
wow.
Maltese Falcon for me. She says she loves her 3D printer and there's nothing she would not rather print. She can't stop making copies of the Maltese Falcon. So
Oh my
this one
goodness.
gets to go on my bookshelf.
Is she selling said copies?
I don't think so. I think she's just enjoying the 3D printing.
The printing process. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
She after she made this, she found her print bed or head or whatever isn't big enough to do a full size one, right? So you have to scale it down to what'll fit. But right after she made this, she sent everyone pictures and said, "I found a model online that's a 3-piece segmented full size." So she's printing them in thirds and sticking them together.
So with this 3D printing, how long did it? Do you know how long it took? To print that out?
I think this baby. This is about 8 inches tall. This thing took 24 hours to print.
Oh wow.
And this was not the first experiment that she had done trying to get one for me. The first one was perfect up to about the neck, and then zipped 3 inches sideways and kept going a little bit before she ran in and made it all stop. I guess one of the timing belts or whatever kind of slipped on one little scooch, and then it was just a mess of plastic hair.
So it was like the John Merrick of Maltese Falcons. Basically.
Yes, it was the elephant bird.
Yes, the elephant bird. Let's see. This week coming up for me is basically just the usual work and stuff. Nothing exciting. We are prepping to head to Michigan in the first week of August. So I am just making sure that I am setting aside stuff I need to take with me, getting my travel sizes together for the plane and all that. So
It must be exciting to be traveling after such a hiatus.
It is. It's been 2 years since I've seen my mother and my sister, so I'm very much looking forward to visiting them. And I told my mom, I said, "You're just going to get a big hug from me, so don't expect to be let go anytime soon. Once I get my arms around you."
I have
Sorry.
you down for a nonstop hugging from 2 to 4 tomorrow, and then some food, and then some more holding. deep
Exactly.
into the
Some
night.
more holding. We'll sit next to each other on the couch and hold hands, and I'll just cry because it's been a while since I've seen my mom, and so I'm not afraid to show my emotions, James. Not afraid.
I am. I'm deeply terrified of it. If anyone knows how I'm feeling, I've done something wrong.
Oh, folks, thank you so much for joining us today. If there is anything you want to hear us jaw on about, or you want to ask us a question about ourselves or our interests, please feel free to comment. You can, if you're on your mobile device, you can always make a comment from there. If you are listening from your laptop, there is also a comment area on that page. Tell your friends, tell your family about the show. We appreciate you listening and spending time with us. As always, be kind to you, be kind to your family, your friends, your neighbors, your community, because we are all going through it. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Kelly Wright.
And I'm James Ernest, and we're here all week. And a special shout out to Richard Branson, who may be listening to this podcast from outer space right now.
Richard!
Come back!
I don't know if he heard me.